And welcome to another edition of the Sports Writers on the Web. I'm Herald-Whig Sports Editor Don O'Brien alongside Matt Schuckman and Blake Toppmeyer, bringing you all the news fit to, I don't say print, but fit for the web here as we get ready for another exciting weekend of basketball.
Surf?
Fit to surf, yes. All the news is fit to surf here on the Sports Writers on the Web. Big weekend, bigger weekend probably out of Notre Dame than it's Quincy High. We'll get Quincy. Usually do Quincy High first. We're saving you for a second. Quincy Notre Dame this weekend. Big shootout going on. Break it down for us.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the boys are actually taking second billing this weekend. The boys on a 4-game losing streak. It is an important weekend for them. But first and foremost, I think it's an even bigger weekend for the Lady Raiders, still ranked number 1 in Class 2A. On Friday night, they have Quincy High, a game that you should. In all honesty, Quincy Notre Dame is probably favored by about 30 in that one, but still going to be a lot of excitement for it anytime QND and QHS meet anything. But then Saturday, the real big showdown, welcoming in Edwardsville into town, 25-0, ranked number 3 in Class 3A. Going to be the best team QND's seen since Rockbridge, and you think back to last year, QND's only loss this season was in the Superfan Shootout, the season finale against Incarnate Word. I'm not sure Edwardsville's quite as dominating as an Incarnate Word or Rockridge, but they're still awful good. And the reason I don't think they're quite as dominating is they don't seem to bury opponents because they play a little more patient offensively, rely a little more on defense, but it's been a formula that's worked for them all season.
How important is it for Quincy Notre Dame girls to win that game on Saturday night?
I don't think it's huge. And we saw last year they lost to Incarnate Word by 21 points and then won the Class 2A state title. The reality is they're going to see nobody in the 2A postseason that's going to be like in Edwardsville. Edwardsville's got a 6'3" post player, Emily Henderson, who's won 2 shot put state titles and a discus state title, and her arms are about this big. She could bench press the 3 of us combined.
Oh wow,
probably.
that's an impressive feat.
But you're not going to see anybody like that in the 2A postseason. Having said that, sure, if you beat Edwardsville, you're going to have tons of momentum rolling into the postseason. I think you're going to have that attitude of no one can touch us. Flip
side, what about for the Quincy Notre Dame boys and getting on track, even winning either the game against Marengo on Friday night or Payson on Saturday night?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call these. I don't think it's to the point of must-win games. I don't know if you're ever truly in must-win scenarios until you get the postseason. But for a team that's lost 4 in a row, they don't feel like it's time to panic yet. They feel like they're still playing okay. A couple of these losses in this losing streak have just been by a couple points. But if you lose both this weekend, then I think you're sitting there thinking, wow, we haven't won in a month. We lost 6 in a row. I think a lot of self-doubt might start to creep in. So Marengo's a team that they could and probably should beat. It's a Class 3A team, but they're 8-12. Their best win maybe is against Rock Falls. It was a 1-point win in overtime, I believe, and QND beat Rock Falls by I think 20 in the State Farm Holiday Classic. So Notre Dame should have a pretty decent chance in that one. And then Payson, I think that's kind of a toss-up game. Payson's got a lot of athleticism, some good guard play led by Aaron Edwards. Could be a tough matchup for QND, but still at the pit. You got to think the Raiders are probably a small favorite in that one.
Busy weekend for Notre Dame. Matt Schuckman on the Surrey program last week, you said the Quincy High School boys were not worried about the Western Big Six race at all. They're worried about getting in shape for the postseason.
And that's exactly the way they approached last weekend. And look what happened.
Now where are they, though?
I think they still have to approach it the same way. I think in their mindset, even though they are 1 game out of first place in the Big Six with 4 games to go, they're still approaching it like we have bigger fish to fry. We got more things to worry about. If it plays out, we win the title or share the title, great, that'll be awesome. But I don't think their focus is on how do we win this title. Because, like we talked about this week on the radio, they can win out and still not, end up with a title or a share of the title. They're going to need some help. They don't control their own destiny. I know that sounds like I'm poo-pooing what they've done. I'm not. They're 5-1 since the start of the new year. Winning at East Moline was big last week. But the fact of the matter is they can't worry about what's up here. They can't look for that carrot at the end of the stick. They got to chop the stick off little by little, and we'll see if they can do that starting, Friday night against Galesburg. And then Saturday night, they welcome Geneva to town. Pick up 2 more wins this weekend. Man, that ball's really rolling for them. Going on with only 1 more road game in the Big Six.
Other sports going on this weekend. We had a big wrestling weekend last weekend. Both teams, Quincy Notre Dame and Quincy High School, got ready for postseason. Matt Schuckman, where did each one of those two teams look like heading into regionals on Saturday?
It's going to be interesting. All our local teams feed into the same regional at the 1A level. Notre Dame is looking to repeat as regional champion to have a chance to go back to the state tournament, state dual tournament. I think they have the depth to do that. But I think there's a couple teams out there that could really challenge them. I think Pittsfield's a team that could challenge them. Macomb obviously is a team that I think most people will look at and say, there might be the team to beat. Beardstown's going to be awful good. So there's a, maybe an uphill climb for Notre Dame to repeat, but I think they're capable of it. Keep your eye on Colton Peace of Pittsfield. I believe he is now 36-1 as a heavyweight, with a chance to possibly win a state title. We're going to have more on him in the Herald-Whig coming up. Quincy High, for them to get out of regionals, this team is a stretch. They don't have the depth to do that, but it's a big weekend. It's the start of the winter postseason for us.
We'll have wrestling news this weekend. We'll have everything. Blake will be. Are you living in Notre Dame this weekend? Are you picking up a cot?
Yeah.
So
sleeping bag in the pit.
He'll have everything you need to know from the Q&D Superfan Shootout. Schuckman he'll be out at Blue Devil Gym. We'll have Quincy University news for you as well. Also, Sunday's paper, we'll have all your Super Bowl news you need, including all the Super Bowl celebrity picks. For Schuck, for Top, I'm DOB. We'll talk to you next week. This has been the Sports Writers on the Web.